Hey you guys, this is Jules. Hey, I wanted to share a project that I did. It's nothing new, I've done it before, but I wanted to show you a different color. A while back I made a Posey Ball made of coffee filter paper, the basket kind, and I showed the actual ball all done, and then I did a tutorial on how I did it. And I had a friend of mine, a really good friend of mine, Ms Aliscia. Hi Aliscia. She is I Scrap Happy here on YouTube, and I've spoken of her before. She's a great lady, a very talented lady, and a very good friend, and I love her to death. I asked her if she wanted, well, I saw a comment that she left on that video, and she mentioned something about making a blue and green one because she has a blue and green scrap room. And I guess it was just maybe a couple months or a month or something like that later, and I didn't see if she made one, and I asked her if she did, and she said she hadn't yet, and I told her, well, can I make it for you? And she was really happy about it, and I was so excited because she let me, and I came up with a blue and green one, and I'll show you what, and I'll tell you what I used. This is her blue and green Posey Ball, and it has little pops of white in it. I love it. I love it to death. Oh my gosh. It took me a while to make it, but I finally got it done. Now, in my tutorial, I put annotations in there today, changing some things around because there was some things that I felt that were, I guess I could have done it a little bit better. Now, if you look at my Posey Ball, the one that I made, it's very gathered. There's a lot of pinkish and tea-dyed filters that are in little clusters, and it's very full and it's very heavy. And I thought, you know what, if I made the filters, instead of doing just 2 filters, I could have done 4, 5, or 6 filters, and I could have spaced them out more because they would have been fuller flowers, and yeah, I could have saved a lot on, I think I made 60 to 65 of each color for mine, and with this one I only did about 20, and I used probably 16 or something like that. Anyways, it was way less. I cut it down by half, and you can see a little bit of the bumpiness because, I mean, they're round little flowers, so you're going to find that there's little round spots because they're round. So what I used was Kool-Aid. I couldn't find one Kool-Aid color that I wanted. I couldn't find the blue one in the Kool-Aid, but I found the lime, but I found Crystal Light, sugar-free Crystal Light Kool-Aid. So, of course, I used the one without the sugar. And I just put some hot water and a couple packets of it and let them soak. And I probably dipped them maybe 3 or 4 times and let them dry, dipped it again, let it dry, dipped it again, let it dry. And it took a little bit, but I finally got it. And this is what I came up with. I found some colors to use, and I was thinking of using Glimmer Mist, but I think that I would have probably finished up my bottles. So I figured I don't have the food coloring that is this color, so I decided, you know what, my girls at one point played with some Kool-Aid and dyed their hair, pink and stuff, and red and purple. And I was like, you know what, I could probably just use Kool-Aid and not use the sugar kind. But Ms Aliscia, you might be able to smell a little bit of sweetness in it because it is Kool-Aid, so it does have that smell in there, that sweet, juicy smell. But yeah, I used Kool-Aid, you guys. It was really fun. So anyways, I made this for her, and I love it. I love it. I'm going to take some pictures and put it up on my blog so you guys can see it in full view. I don't have it hanging on anything yet because she's going to use something that she has at home. So I'm going to send this to her, but I wanted to share it with you guys before I sent it off. And then I made a card for her, and it's completely different color. It's all vintage. And, yeah, let me show you that. So I made this card today because I'm sending out a gift to Ms Aliscia, and I wanted to share it with you. Now, I used a lot of different brands of things on here. One you can probably notice that I use Graphic 45 paper, which are the girls, and this black piece of paper here with the floral on it. I used Tim Holtz Distress Inks, and I used my new set. Thank you, Miss Rose. I made this card using Crafty Secrets. This is my new set of stamps that Miss Rose gifted me with, and I love it so much. They're already staining because I used aged mahogany color and black. So yeah, I really love it though. I really love how the card came out, and I can't wait for Ms Aliscia to get it. I love this card. I also used Tim Holtz's new what are they called? Hanger clips. I will be holding these in my store. I just got my shipment in, and I'm keeping a box for myself because I wanted some, and it wouldn't perfect with the card. So this has 24 clips in it, and they're super cute. So I used it for this, the sign here that says Life's a Stitch, and it has a little print of a needle with thread. You can see that there. I'm going to take some pictures of this too and post it on my blog. The flowers that I use here are wild orchid crafts. I did a video, a haul video on all the flowers that I got, and I used my wild orchid crafts flowers, and I love them. I inked the edges to distress a little bit because they were kind of bright, so I used some vintage photo on top of it to kind of grunge it up just a tiny bit. These here, if you saw the video, these are nice and just brown, and I used some aged mahogany and just kind of did a little bit of a two-tone type of look. Did a little bit of glimmer mist on here, the iridescent or dazzling diamonds, and to kind of help with making the ink bleed a tiny bit so that it's not too sharp on the edges of the petals. Here's a leaf that I sat back down there. And again, I use the stems. I've done this before, but I've used the stems of the roses, and I've just curled them and set them back there. And from the stamp collection, I used the button. I used the thimble. I used this inside part, like a quilt. A friend will warm your body and comfort your soul. I was going to use a butterfly, but it would not go in this. I couldn't find a spot to put it. So anyways, I used the button, the thimble, the sign, the little clothespin that's kind of, it looks like it's already stuck inside of something. And what else? And the wooden spool. I used a spool. And then Life's a Stitch, I used this little sentiment here. And what I did is I stamped it on my tie-dye tags because I like the tie-dye tags. I love my tie-dye tags. I use them for a lot of different projects. And I was thinking of doing it on craft paper because craft paper is the closest that I can think of a vintage. But if you look here, this is a lot lighter than craft paper, so I decided to use my tie-dye tags. So I used that and some silk ribbon that I bought a while back, and I can't even remember where I got it from. And then some Prima Eline pearls. These are the black ones, and I have my shipment that came in, and I'm going to be posting that on my blog, in my blog shop at thejulebox.com. And yeah, this is, I also used the stitching, this little stitch, zigzag stitch, and I just bordered the very top of the card and the very bottom of the card, and I also used it underneath the sentiment here. And I thought it went well. I like it. So I used the chipboard dimensionals for the sign. I used hot glue also to adhere it because I actually sandwiched the little hanger, the backside piece, in between the tie-dye tag and the chipboard. And then, that way it'll kind of sit and sandwiched, and it'll kind of be held down well onto something. So, yeah. The button, I actually I ran my distressing tool over some white thread and kind of dingied it up a little bit, and I actually, the actual stamp has the stamp of thread going through it, and I wanted to make it a little bit more real, so I ended up threading it through there. So, yeah, I really like how this card came out. Ms Aliscia, I just wanted to send you a card. I've made you a tag before, but I have not made you a card, and I wanted to make one for you, and you've made me several. And this is just as a thank you, and I had so much fun. Thank you for letting me make that Posey Ball for you, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Jules signing out. Bye, guys.